Speaking of size, the giant that hadn't gotten over, Braun Strowman, was next against Shane McMahon. And I guess, is Braun Strowman even over to the definition that it is today? I mean, which is a lower bar than it used to be to say, well, so-and-so is over because they're a big fish in a smaller pond or whatever. Is he even over to the people? Do they give a fuck about him, Braun Strowman?
For the fans that watch Monday Night Raw, yeah, I think so.
Okay,
for the discriminating fan like myself, maybe not.
For all the reasons that we've mentioned a million times, and it was nice to see the King, Jerry, and the red tuxedo jacket join the commentary desk, but for all the reasons, Shane is in fantastic shape. And I've mentioned he's my favorite McMahon. What a guy. Guts a mile wide, right? Balls of steel. He's 50 plus. He's the billionaire owner's son. This should not in any way be competitive. I've said since the start of it. I know Shane loves to do this shit, and I know he loves to be one of the boys, and I know he loves to give people the WrestleMania moments with the coast-to-coast drop kicks. He needs to be working like Bobby Heenan or me, or he doesn't need to be working. Because it doesn't matter if Judo Gene LaBelle, they didn't make him the goddamn world champion because he looked like your fucking weird cousin that lived in a fucking apartment over the garage. Well, Shane's the billionaire owner's son and should not be competitive with 6'7", 350-pound former strongmen competitors or any other professional athletes. Only in the world that they have created that is not the world that a lot of normal people live in should Shane McMahon be competitive physically with this guy or most of the professionals. Do you disagree with this?
I agree with you, but I think unfortunately it's been done like this for so long that you can't go backwards. Shane has established himself as someone, despite never training to be a wrestler, at least in kayfabe, thinks he's as tough as every wrestler and is always willing to do whatever it takes to beat them.
Well, and I mean, it's not like that's going to be the only case of that in this episode of WrestleMania, but it was even... And I mean, Shane looks better than Bugs physically. Old Bugs Bunny, we'll get to him. But Shane at least looks like he could kick somebody's ass better than Bugs Bunny. But still. And then it's a cage match, but Shane closes the door and won't let Strowman in until here comes Elias and Riker. Riker he had two tag team partners. One of them disappeared and the other one got heat on himself, wasn't it? So now he's just floating around.
They were like bikers, disciples of Apocalypse or...
Forgotten Sons.
The Forgotten Sons.
Yes, well, two of them, we can't remember where two of them are.
They're forgotten.
They're forgotten. It's like they told my grandfather one time. They said, sir, to stay in better shape, you need to start walking 2 miles every day. After the first week, we didn't know where the fuck he was. But anyway, so they attack Strowman with chairs and beat him up and hurt his leg, and then the match starts. And Shane hits Strowman with like 7 or 8 chair shots. Strowman gets back up. Shane starts running. The body shots and the leg kicks, and Strowman actually selling them. And then Shane tries to climb the cage and with his bionic arm ripped a piece of sheet metal off the top of the cage and began pummeling, wearing Braun Strowman out with the sheet metal. And then Strowman finally comes back and beats up Shane for a while, and then he goes to pick Shane up for a power slam, and Shane drops behind on the power slam and goes back on offense. And I wrote, this should be ending already, and Shane hit the float over DDT that I believe Tom Pritchard taught him 18 years ago. It was ludicrous. Then he gets on the top rope and does the coast-to-coast drop kick that looks like it would hurt him 5 times as much as it hurts the guy he's kicking. And it's ridiculous. The Braun Strowman, this is a case where I would have to think that only because it's Shane would Vince not be just completely lit by this. One of his giants, his strong man, the Chattanooga Choo-Choo, is getting beat up by a 50-year-old part-time wrestler. But because it's Shane, that's not brought up. But it wouldn't end. How can any of the top guys be afraid of Braun Strowman again? And then, why is there a toolbox in a garbage can on the top of the cage?
For any last-minute tune-ups that they have to do.
It's like the fucking welders were up there and left their garbage can and they'd put the toolbox in it so they wouldn't lose. Shane climbs up the top of the cage, gets in a metal garbage can, brings a toolbox out, and hits Braun Strowman in the fucking head. And that's why I started zoning out. Shane was going to climb over, but Strowman peeled the cage back and pulled Shane back in and threw him off the top of the cage. And poor Shane, he tried to flip over. Because a choke slam is dangerous from a height like that. Because if you get going too far over backwards with your feet up ahead of you, you're going head first and you're backwards and you're fucked. So I can see he was trying to flip over and take a flat back bump, but he did one of those bumps when he landed instead of. If you hear two noises when you take a bump, that will be followed by incredible shooting pain moments later because you fucked yourself up. You should hear boom, not boom. Fucking Sharknado will be editing the fuck out of this show now. I'm doing all this shit. But anyway, then he climbs down, picks him up, and power slams him. 1, 2, 3. Thank God. I was afraid they were going to have to treat Shane like the Fiend to beat him. I don't know. I didn't see anything else that I need to bring to anybody's attention about that match. Did you?
Not really. You kind of covered it all, but if there's one bit of advice beyond what you've just said to Shane that I could give, it would be after a match like that, you want to make sure you have a good night's sleep.
You get a good night's sleep. That's exactly what I was thinking. And I'll tell you, if I was Marissa, Shane's lovely wife, or if I was a member of the McMahon family or somebody that loves Shane after a performance like that, I would be right now ordering up a Helix sleep mattress for Shane McMahon from the fine folks at helixsleep.com. That's HELIX for those who can't understand my southern drawl. That's what Stace is recuperating on right now. These Helix mattresses are incredible, and they have multiple types. As a matter of fact, Stace is the one that took the quiz for us, but she knows what I like. But what you do is if you go to helixsleep.com, they have a quiz that takes like 2 minutes to complete, and it asks you how you sleep and on what side and your preferences, and it selects then the perfect mattress that they have for you. It's tailored just to your specifications for the way that you like to sleep. They've even got a Helix Plus mattress for the more portly out there in our audience. They've got soft, medium, firm. They've got mattresses that cool you down if you sleep hot, or if you get hot before you go to sleep. Whoa! These things are great. Whatever the case, even if you've just had back surgery, as I mentioned, you can recuperate on one of these Helix mattresses. They are, in all seriousness, I was mad because we got the Helix mattress right after we had bought a brand new mattress for another bed at the regular old mattress store. And once I felt this Helix, I said, well, we just jacked ourselves and we spent twice as much as we should have, and it could have been delivered to our door. Not even talking about the mesmerizing unboxing procedure when they bring this mattress to you, folks. It's in a box about the size of 3 bread baskets. And you unwrap it according to the easy-to-follow instructions. And if you can't unwrap something, even without instructions, you're in a home somewhere. And this thing just springs to life, and it's fucking gorgeous. Anyway, go to helixsleep.com/JCE. Take the 2-minute sleep quiz. They will match you to a customized mattress that'll give you the best sleep of your life, and they've got a 10-year warranty. Plus, you get to try these things out for 100 nights risk-free. If you don't love it, they'll even pick it up for you. I think if I were y'all, I would be at least cognizant of and appreciative of this fine offer, and don't do anything that would cause stains on that mattress for those 100 nights. But anyway, right now, Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com. If you go to helixsleep.com and put in the /JCE, that's when you get the $200 off, up to $200 off, and 2 free pillows. helixsleep.com /JCE, and you'll love taking the quiz. Brian, you got 100 on that quiz.
I did, I guess. Yes, I did. In fact, I'm going to be ordering another Helix Sleep mattress very soon because the one I intended to use in the office for it's the middle of the day, I'm going to take a nap mattress.
Your day bed.
Was taken by one of my daughters, so I need to get another one.
That little Jezebel.
Hey.
Day bed. Oh, better than the night bed. Oh, master of the pillows. Oh.
Oh, you didn't have a witty ending to that?
I'm just making it up as I go along. The day bed. Now, and that's we got to put somebody on that too. Einar, who knows?
You got to stop handing out musical assignments.
Musical assignments. It's well, hey, I'm trying to get into wrestling. It's all about the music these days. I don't know who these fucking musical artists are.